Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the PackHub's Packaging Innovation Briefing Report webinar. My name is Paul Jenkins, and I'm Managing Director of the PackHub, and I will be with you today talking through our latest innovations that we've tracked. I'm also joined by my colleague, Barrington Pamplin, Technical Director at the PackHub, who will be fielding our questions and answers towards the end of the session. What we're going to cover in the next 50 minutes or so is the following. We will do a short introduction to the PackHub and our Innovation Zone database. There will then be a brief overview of the packaging trends overall. And then we're going to look at 25 recent packaging innovations you need to know. We'll then have a summary and Q&A. We've got 3 interactive polls. We also have some webinar exclusive special offers and details of our next webinar, and you will get a link to this webinar recording post-event. In terms of the PackHub, a lot of you will know about us. Those that don't, we're a leading packaging innovation consultancy operating in 4 areas: technical support and project management. We run events where we can. Obviously, at the moment, that's not possible. We collate and write reports. Our most recent has been the Sustainable Packaging Compendium. More on that later. And we also have insights and trend analysis. And at really sort of the heart of our business is our Innovation Zone packaging database, which is a searchable and easy to use innovation database with approaching 4,000 new packaging initiatives listed. We upload about 20 new innovations every week, from concept to in-market launch. And it's a great way of keeping teams up to speed and inspiration and idea generation. Here is the database in its entirety. So we've got 3,938 innovations. Along the right, you can do various searches. So if you were looking for material substitution examples as an example, click on there. 451 come up that have been tagged. The most recent is from Procter & Gamble. We've got more on this in a moment. Some information there, as you can see. You can also click on various links. So if you wanted to find more about P&G on the database, you can do a click and find the 23 innovations that we've got listed. If you would like a 15-minute online demo, please email paul@thepackhub.com and we can set that up. So the first poll. I can work out how to do this. Apologies, I can't find the poll thing, so apologies for that. In terms of the packaging trends review, as I say, we'll now go on and look at the 25 new innovations that we've collated recently. It's fair to say that sustainability is really at the centre of packaging change, particularly over the last couple of years. As is mentioned in just about every packaging presentation over the last 2 years or so. Blue Planet 2, which was came about in October 2017, really sort of transformed how we think about packaging innovation. We've had various single-use plastic bans, plastic reduction strategies, China rejecting recycling, plastic-free aisles, packaging taxes, and most brands and retailers coming up with new company policies, and much more sort of carbon footprint reduction coming into play. So sustainability really has sort of focused everyone's minds on what happens in terms of packaging innovation going forward. But something very dramatic has happened in the last 2 or 3 months, of course, and that's COVID-19, and that is clearly having some sort of impact on packaging innovation and what we're doing. We're certainly seeing fewer new innovations coming to market over the last month or so. And obviously nobody knows for sure what the long-term impact will be once the pandemic is over. Some things that we have noticed is single-use plastic is having a renaissance. Things like reusable bags that were once banned in certain markets are now back, and single-use bags are back in vogue. Reusable bottles were banned just before coffee shops were closed. Fruit and veg moving to packaging free was a big thing we were seeing over the last few months. Now shoppers perhaps are rejecting that due to lack of hygiene. Shopper behaviour is changing. Tesco reported a near doubling of online deliveries recently and the return of the weekly shop. The refillable market is vulnerable in these times. Recycling is certainly not a priority. We've had instances of corrugated and glass shortages. Will we see more of a hygiene focus in future? Innovation projects are currently not going ahead or paused. Product ranges have been nationalised, but the world hasn't stopped. You may have heard a story of in a number of different retailers, a complete rationalisation of ranges. You know, for example, Tesco sausages significantly reduced the choice for consumers. Be interesting to see what happens post COVID-19 and whether that those ranges go back to previous levels. Things like tamper-proofing is coming back into vogue. It'd be really interesting to see what impact potentially 18 months of social distancing will have on product choice and innovation. Even on-the-go packaging, which was once, quite recently a big thing, is we're all obviously consuming mostly at home, so that will have an impact in the next 18 months or so. So in terms of the trends that we collate on a regular basis, there are 10 as follows: compostable and biodegradable, biomaterials breaking through, recycling resurgence, reusable systems, carbon concern, reducing waste, plastic elimination, and that's been huge over the last 2 years or so, as I've mentioned, functional enrichment, so that's all about added functionality in packaging, look and feel, so how can the packaging appeal more to consumers both on the shelf and in the hand, and intelligent engagement, and that's all around active and intelligent packaging coming to the market as costs come down and economies of scale improve. So 25 new packaging innovations we think you should know about. These are not an endorsement of best practice necessarily. We think some of them are fantastic and others have been introduced, and we're purely commenting on the fact that they're in the market. So don't think that these 25 have been selected as the best examples. We think it's correct to reflect what is going on in the market. So the first one is a health and wellness startup which is launching a letterbox-friendly pack. Heights is a startup brand that sells health and wellness supplement products for the brain. It has introduced an innovative new pack format that makes their e-commerce sales more efficient and cost-effective. A new bottle has been created that contains the brand's capsules in an asymmetric and very distinctive thought bubble design. The transparent bottle shows off the contents and is made from PLA. It delivers an unusual and unique shape that will present a remarkable unboxing experience. The shipping box has been designed in combination with the container, which could not be made from conventional cardboard, and necessitated the creation of a sugar cane pulp hinge tray with a moulded inner to keep the bottle securely in place. The box product is less than 25 millimeters wide, so will easily fit through letterboxes. You may also have seen the Glass on Wines initiative, which also sees a letterbox type packaging innovation in around and doing very well over the last couple of years or so. The next innovation, which you've got a sneak preview during my Innovation Zone demo, is from Procter & Gamble, and they've introduced a new paper bottle format for their Secret and Old Spice deodorant brands for the US market. The multinational brand owner has an objective to ensure that the beauty and grooming brands use only 100% recyclable, reusable packaging by 2030. The deodorant market has seen significant change at the moment, with several structural design changes, material switches, and reusable formats entering the market. And we've played some of those, or most of those, in the innovation zone. P&G will introduce a new innovative paper dispensing tubes with a push-up function. The paper tube packaging is made out of 90% recycled paper. The packs will initially be available, I think, in 500 Walmart stores in the States, and will retail for about £10. So that's quite an interesting plastic-reduced deodorant. Another plastic-reduced or plastic-free initiative from food kits business Gusto. They've announced the introduction of a new recyclable cardboard insulator to reduce the company's environmental footprint. The Eco-Chill Box solution is thought to be the first of its kind in the UK and significantly reduces the amount of plastic used. The Eco-Chill Box will replace their previous insulation solution to keep ingredients cool and fresher for longer, and removes nearly 75 tonnes of plastic from Gusto's box range, as well as being easier to recycle, of course. Consumers need to pull the lid up and base off to flatten the box wall to recycle, and I think 4,000 consumers helped the brand try and test the new solution. It required an astonishing 3,002 hours of testing. Now, one of Europe's leading plastic packaging manufacturers in both food and non-food is Grainer Packaging, and they've worked with Henkel on a new recycled content initiative. The companies have announced a collaboration to deliver a 50% post-consumer resin polypropylene Persil pack. The RPP, as it's known, is derived from household waste. The cardboard plastic packaging combination can be easily separated and recycled. The cardboard sleeve helps to maintain the container's stability and is comprised of 92% recycled content. It is claimed that the packaging's lower plastic content helps to reduce carbon emissions. An innovative two-layer process sees the inside of the plastic container made of white virgin material, whilst the outer layer includes RPP. Onto something slightly different and not to do with sustainability. This is an interactive on-pack game from Tex-Mex-style food brand El Paso. The Taco Tuesday spinner will feature on the back of meal kit boxes as part of the brand's global brand platform of Make Some Noise. By simply cutting out the spinner arrow from the top of the pack and spinning it to the playboard on back of the pack. Players can transform their empty old El Paso boxes into an interactive game. The limited edition Tuesday Taco Spinner will be included on selected packs in the UK, Ireland and New Zealand, and is a really good way of understanding that bringing consumers together at the dinner table in this way. Now, Pamplin have announced the introduction of 2 tethered cap solutions that both remain firmly attached to the bottle when opened and during use. The initiatives have come into play in preparation for future EU legislation that will see that the capacity of up to 3 litres to remain firmly tethered for as long as the packaging is used. As a result, Alpla have created entirely new cap solutions which require no additional material for their manufacturing and can be used on various pack sizes. They have 2 solutions. The first is the relax model, where 2 bands are used to tether the cap to the back and allows the consumer to fix the cap in one of 3 different positions on the bottleneck. The sole model cap, which is the second one, can be bent back to an angle of 160 degrees when opened and attached to the thread and small pin. Now, this is quite an interesting, disruptive looking design. So you may think this is meant for consumption of coffee, but you'd be wrong. This is Vienna, Austria-based startup Wolf 7, and they're on a mission to shake up the health and beauty market with a disruptive and category-changing new initiative. The brand previously made a name for itself with a shower gel packaging called Shower Smoothies in a food and drink squeeze bag that might be more in place in the drinks aisle. This time the brand has introduced shower gels in coffee cups. The coffee to go cup is a real eye catcher in the health and beauty aisles of the supermarket and perhaps looks more at home in a coffee shop. The brand is using the format as a marketing tool, and shoppers are certain to look twice at the coffee cup between the more conventional bottles and tubes in the shower care shelves. The coffee cup contains a mousse peeling with coffee beans and an espresso chocolate scent. Back to recycling. The UK baby industry currently sells approximately 60 million pouches every year, and the majority are currently not recyclable. The pouches are made, as you would know, from a mix of plastic and aluminium materials, making them difficult to recycle. Pouches are a popular baby food lightweight format, and the UK baby food brand Piccolo is aiming to create a significant point of difference with the introduction of what they claim will be the first, in theory, recyclable pouch for baby food launched in Europe. The new pouches are being made from a single layer of polypropylene with a spout and cap made from HDPE. However, polypropylene is currently still only recycled by some UK recycling authorities. To tackle this, the business is driving the agenda to make polypropylene more widely recyclable in the UK. So although the pack says 100% recyclable, we would contend that is slightly misleading in that it's not always recyclable in every situation. And there was also a recent initiative from child nutrition business, Gerber, or a similar initiative. Here we have a reusable deodorant applicator that has been designed to last. This is from a Dutch health and beauty challenger brand called Mud. The business has introduced a reusable deodorant applicator made using bio-based plastic. The business is primed to launch a sustainable screw-on cap for its tubes after raising funds via Kickstarter. The applicators will be manufactured using bio-based plastic, as are the tubes that are made from sugarcane. Now, everyone's aware of the ubiquitous Pringles can, but this is an alternative for PepsiCo, who are launching a major new pack format with their Doritos stacks. The Dorito stack packaging is triangular in shape to help reinforce the differentiated product shape, as well as creating a distinction on supermarket shelves. 4 Dorito stack flavours will go on sale in the UK market. According to PepsiCo, canister sales is a segment that is preferred by consumers like me over 45 years of age, and this initiative is attempted to extend its reach to the younger audience. The distinctive triangular product shape is good to be seen used here, and it may even be easier and more comfortable to hold for some consumers. Austria's largest domestic milk producer is in the process of replacing some of their single-use packaging with reusable glass bottles. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that we're seeing a lot of movement in terms of refillable and reusable packaging systems. The business has started offering their milk in 1 litre returnable bottles as part of a wider trend that's seeing many of these businesses trying these packaging models. The company is using a bespoke solution from DW Reusables beverage crate for the transportation of the new reusable bottles. Beverage crates are durable and come with a 10-year guarantee. When they reach a useful end of life after a decade or so, they can be reground and turned into new crates again and again, reducing tons of one-way packaging waste. And this has just come to our attention. The online market continues to grow at pace, as everyone would recognise. According to research we recently did from Digital Commerce 360, the e-commerce sector grew nearly 15% in the USA in 2019 to represent 16% of all sales. This growth influences the mix of products sold, and to meet the needs of this growth, P&G is expanding its EcoBox portfolio to include more for its fabric care brands. Now, this is really good to see, because at the moment we're seeing a lot of packaging that is the same, whether it's sold in bricks and mortar stores or online. So it's good to see a pack that has been designed specifically for this new channel. The EcoBox format has been designed with the e-commerce market in mind, and the product is delivered as a sealed corrugated box with no outer boxing or padding, and so complies with Amazon's SIOC, shipped in own container directive. The pack format uses up to 60% less plastic than traditional packaging. You may know about the Tide Original, which was first launched in this format, that saw a great response from consumers, and apparently 80% express a preference over this format over conventional bottle shapes. P&G is working with TerraCycle to allow the recycling of the inner blade and tap. Now, we're starting to see COVID-19 influenced innovations coming to market. So this is from Toronto headquartered Pizza, which has around 750 locations across Canada. The business has previously featured innovation in our innovation zone for a pizza box that transforms into a miniature tabletop game. This is less about interaction and more about product safety. The pizza box chain has this time created an added functionality pack that acknowledges the current increased concerns for hygiene and contamination. Pizza's new tamper-proof pizza box comes at a time when food safety is seen as more important than ever, and features a safety locking mechanism which needs to be broken by the end customer in order to access the pizza inside. The proprietary solution provides customers with an extra level of assurance that their pizza has remained untouched from the time it leaves the pizza oven to the time it arrives at the front of the door for delivery. So that's good to see an immediate response to some of the health concerns that consumers are no doubt having. Another one that we've recently tracked, just gone on the Innovation Zone database this week, is a single-serve frozen dessert pack. This time, this has led to, this is another new example, sorry, is Mo Mochi ice cream, which has launched a single-serve pack for the US market. The frozen dessert brand's packaging format features a single ice cream board in a fully enclosed pack. The brand claims that the single-use format will help reduce food waste and spoilage by preserving quality and increasing product shelf life compared with unpackaged ice cream. The pack will improve hygiene standards by eliminating open exposure. And this is a really interesting innovation, because I would argue 3 months ago, the brand may have been openly criticised for launching what some might see as an unnecessary single-use format here. Under the current context of health concerns and COVID-19 pandemic worries, this pack may, or certainly has more legs going forward. Now, we do have a poll, and I'm really hoping that somehow I can work out how to do the polls, because my display shows nothing at all about how to do polls. So I do apologise. I think we're just going to have to move on. I was going to ask some questions about COVID-19. That's really frustrating that we, maybe if Barry can hear me online, if he could find out how to publish the polls for me. The next innovation is a new takeaway box that could be stacked for easy handling. This is a Sweden-based packaging company called Frontpack that has developed a new corrugated pack for the takeaway food delivery market, which has extra added value functionality. The new box has been designed so that several can be stacked on top of each other and can then be conveniently carried using a single handle. The packs allow for the opportunity for many more boxes to be carried in one go, improving delivery efficiency and reducing the potential drop produce. They've done some successful pilots in Stockholm and also for a restaurant chain called Eatery. The boxes are reported to be easy and quick to assemble and as straightforward as folding a pizza box together. The box is sustainably produced and fully recyclable. Now, the next innovation, I think we covered this in our last webinar, but I think it's worthy of further comment. This is from the Coca-Cola Japan team for their iLOHAS bottle. They've continued to work on a number of new sustainable packaging innovations, which sees the introduction of label-free, 100% recycled plastic recycled bottles in an effort to reduce both waste and pollution. The brand has removed labels on their multi-pack bottles only, so they're single bottles that you'd buy singly from a supermarket shelf and individually, still have the labelling information on them to notify shoppers of vital branding, product information, barcoding and other details. But the multi-pack bottles are label free. So they've got an opportunity where the information has already been communicated in the multi-pack outer wrapper to become label free. So that's quite an interesting new innovation, and maybe other brands might follow suit in due course. KO Corporation, in this case, has launched a pioneering new pack format that uses up to 50% less plastic than traditional shampoo and soap bottles. The reduced weight bottles achieve rigidity through an air fill around the perimeter of the pack that enables them to stand upright. A watertight pack ensures that almost every last drop of the content can be used. The brand claims that the traditional packs leave up to 3 times more product inside than their new solution. The pack cannot yet be recycled in conventional curbside recycling systems, so KO has partnered with recycling experts TerraCycle to launch a program that allows consumers to recycle the pouch post-use. I do agree that's a very striking design and will certainly get noticed on supermarket shelves. It's also delivering some important plastic reduction achievements, although obviously it isn't by no means ideal that the pack cannot be fully recycled. Now, Samsung Electronics have undertaken a consumer engagement campaign to encourage the repurposing of their recyclable cardboard packaging. This was announced about a month ago, and the brand has done an excellent job in creating a huge amount of good PR for this campaign. We do a lot of searches looking for new innovations, and this keeps coming up time and time again over the last month or so. So what they've basically done is they've introduced a new pack for their television collections, and if you've got a new dot matrix design is used on each side of the cardboard boxes, allowing customers to reuse the boxes again to make a host of imaginative executions such as cat houses, magazine racks and furniture. A catalogue is provided via a QR code on the packaging to guide customers. So Samsung is collaborating with UK lifestyle magazine Design to create a global design competition. You can imagine that will be very well done in terms of being quite a viral social media laden campaign. So I look forward to seeing some of those executions on social media in due course. Now, an Australian startup called Barrington are working on the development of paper-based alternatives for pharmaceutical blister packs and single-use coffee pods. They're developing bespoke machinery that is designed to get around the challenges of forming 3D shapes using paper. The process forms paper fibres into shapes without creating holes and let product flavour out and air in. The machine is able to mould the fibres to create an effective water and oxygen barrier. The paper seal solution promises to ultimately lower production costs and decrease the carbon footprint at no sacrifice product performance. Barrington is apparently in talks with 2 coffee brands along with several large multinational pharmaceutical companies with a view to launching in Europe within 18 months and USA within 2 years. I don't know how many of you get through, how many coffee pods you get through during this global lockdown, but I know my family get through significantly more. So a paper-based solution, if technically achievable in due course, would be most welcome. Now, one of the 10 trends that we mentioned at the beginning, compostable and biodegradable alongside biomaterial has been significant in development. Spain leads the world in terms of olive oil production at 6.6 million tonnes per annum. It's more than 3 times the size of the next largest producer, Greece. However, the whole industry suffers from a significant generation of waste during the fruit pitting process. The waste has tended to be used for energy recovery, but now a new project may have found a new application for the residue, for the waste residue. Aimplas has combined with OLIP on a project that is working on an application for the manufacture of new sustainable packaging for the oil waste. The new material will consist of a filler derived from olive oil combined with a thermoplastic material. They are working on the development of a new tray or plate for containers of cosmetic creams made with the olive oil. The new pack's compostability is also being analysed alongside an environmental study on the material. Now, we do track a lot of innovations at the development stage, and there's every chance that this won't necessarily come to market. We think it's important to show exactly what is going on behind the scenes, so that when you do see it in a year or two, you can remember where you saw it first. Now, I'm not even going to try for the polls because I cannot see any way of doing that. Apologies. I promise the next time we'll find a way to get the polls working. Now, this is egg packaging is a fascinating area of development, available in obviously half dozen formats. The shape and style has remained largely unchanged for decades, really. As all packaging professionals will no doubt agree, the pack shape can be an effective way to create shelf standout and deliver a point of difference. This triangular pack is sure to do that with a design that breaks the conventional rectangular shaped egg packaging. The development sees the creation of a modern looking design with a distinctive shape. The configuration also makes for the potential of an interesting and engaging shelf display. The paper-based structure is also fully recyclable. Now, UK retailer and Innovation Zone subscribers, Waitrose has become the first supermarket in the country to introduce wine in a tube format. The retailer is established in selling wine in non-glass bottle formats with 17 different bag-in-box wines, as well as several canned wines available. This new pack is made in collaboration with Italian producer Orion Wine. The bag in tube contains the equivalent of 3 glass bottles and is completely recyclable, although I'm not sure about how the bag is recycled. The new pack format offers freshness advantages. Once opened, the wine will remain fresh for about 10 days longer than if you were to open a glass bottle equivalent. This is an attractive alternative to the bag-in-box format. And in other news, the Waitrose is also planning to remove the black plastic caps from its existing bag-in-box wines, with the caps being replaced with a more easy to recycle white plastic. Right, just 3 more to go now. This is an innovation, a bio-based material innovation from Michigan-based KTM Industries that have been creating bio-based material for thermal protection and protective packaging for over 20 years. Their flagship green cell foam is both compostable and biodegradable and seen as a more sustainable alternative to polystyrene packaging. It has been tested for biodegradability in soil and in water and will effectively microbe when exposed to moisture. Green cell foam insulation allows for temperature control as well as offering overall product protection. The foam panels can be disposed of by dissolving in water. US weight loss brand Jenny Craig have trialled this new format and their customers received food in 2-week shipments in large expanded containers. The new 1-week option, which is this test, reduces the amount of storage needed and waste produced with each order. It's 30% smaller as well. The plastic film covering the panels is also recyclable in most areas in the US market. Now, the penultimate one. This is West Sussex-based premium chocolate challenger brand Montezuma, and they've announced the switch to 100% recycled packaging for their full range of products. The chocolate packaging market is notable for the use of plastic-based wraps to protect the contents. New paper-based solutions are starting to come to market, and we've previously mentioned those in our other webinars. And it is believed that Montezuma will become the first UK chocolate company to switch their whole range to recyclable packaging. The brand examined all of its packaging materials and are using not just the packaging, but recyclable inks, adhesives, and ribbons. They've also used old packaging by shredding it and using it for their gift boxes. Paper chocolate packaging can be a real technical challenge, as a lot of you will know, to deliver, as paper has a tendency to tear during the manufacturing process, whereas foil wrap easily goes through production machinery. But obviously those challenges have been overcome. Now, the last of the 25 innovations. This is a rather innovative, inventive and convenient way to prevent coffee cups from spilling. It's been created, but also taps into the growing reusable packaging trend. The magic coffee cup concept has been invented by a UK startup and has received additional funding recently to try and make it a reality. The coffee mug has been designed to make it difficult to knock over and uses a suction pad to keep the cup in place on a variety of different surfaces when not being used, as you can see at this 45-degree angle on a top lid. The thermal qualities of the mug have also been helped keep the contents warm. So they've only sold a handful online, but it'd be interesting to see if this has any market traction in due course. So, in summary, I think it's clear to see how much sustainability we've had during this presentation, and it will continue to be of major focus. I was rather hoping that our poll would uncover some COVID-19 additional insights, but not to be, but it certainly is already having an impact, and it will be really interesting to see how projects are implemented when this global pandemic comes to an end. Recycling will continue to grow, and that's been driven by legislative necessity and also by the fact that so many brands and retailers and packaging suppliers have very challenging directives and deadlines that they're trying to achieve. So that's focusing their mind to deliver those recycling improvements. We're going to see more carbon reduction focus and less fascination or obsession with plastic elimination, in our view. Compostable and biodegradable packaging will get more mainstream applications. The vast majority of the innovations that we're tracking tend to be from challenger and startup brands, but we believe that will start to get more traction with the larger players. And ultimately, great packaging innovation will continue to come through the innovation funnel. So now on to the Q&A. Barry, are you in a position to look at some of the questions for us?
Yeah, hi Paul.
Hi.
Yeah, a lot of questions around the Dorito Stacks tube and more people wanting more information about the supplier and what the actual construction of the tube is. I don't know if you've got any more information on that.
I've done a little bit of research on that, and there's nothing publicly available. Obviously, there are some well-known tube format suppliers on the market. It's likely to be one of the 2 or 3 main players. It is a multi-material pack, similar to the Pringles tube. So we'll have the same challenges in terms of recyclability, but I don't have to hand who the supplier is. It's not publicly available as far as I can see.
No, I did a little bit of looking around. I can't find any publicly provided information around the structure of that tube. So I don't know if anybody on here has, or if they know of anybody who would have some more information on the structure. I dare say it's being kept fairly close to their chest at the moment. Another group of questions around the coffee pods that seem to create some interest. Do you know any more about the specification of those and what the barrier is created from on those particular pods?
No, and whenever we present something as disruptive as a paper-based coffee pod, we expect a reaction. I'm in the process of, we only found out about this innovation over the last couple of days, so I'm in the process of finding out more from Barrington, an Australian-based business, just to understand how they can, obviously achieve the necessary moisture and various other barriers, not only for coffee pods, but also for pharmaceutical blister packs. So if they can pull this off, it will be a major achievement, which the packaging world will look on with interest. So watch this space, we will find out some more and publish in due course.
A few questions around the information that's come out today, saying, will we get the slides? Will we get the recording? I think I can answer both those. Yes, they will be available, won't they, after the webinar?
Yes.
And also the polystyrene, the compostable foam polystyrene replacement. Do you have any more information around the company that produces that?
That's Green Cell product, KTM. I only presented it 5 minutes ago, but having done 25, I've immediately forgotten the company name. As part of the outputs to the webinar, I can include some more information on that. I know they're a US-based company, and their solution has been around for quite a while. They're finding new applications and new customers pretty much on a monthly basis. So I can include a bit more information in the outputs for that.
Yeah, I think that covers another question regarding could there be more information about the suppliers on the slides or in the output from today's sessions?
Okay, that's a good point, and we'll do that.
I'm just reading another question that comes in. It's about the Piccolo recyclable baby food pouch. Is it a mono layer solution?
It is a mono layer. Sorry.
Go on, carry on.
It is a mono layer solution, and they are, they're going all out by saying it's 100% recyclable on the pack. As you know, Barry, and everyone listening now, just about every packaging material is in theory recyclable. Just because it is a mono-material polypropylene pack doesn't mean that it will be widely recycled. And most markets don't have the infrastructure in place to recycle them on a mass market basis. So kind of it's chicken and the egg, really. They're making the packaging recyclable, but the systems aren't really in place. So yes, it is a mono-material.
Yeah, I think it falls in line with which a lot of packaging manufacturers now use the phrase recycle ready, i.e. when the facilities exist, it can be easily recycled. But as you say, it's a bit chicken and egg until materials are available in significant quantities that it makes it commercially viable to recycle them. People aren't investing in the equipment to recycle them. And so we have the non-virtuous circle where you can't actually get these things off the ground. So I know a lot of companies are adopting the phrase recycle ready, that when the facilities exist, they can be recycled depending on which markets you're in.
That's right. Time for one more question, Barry, or is that...
I think we've covered, there's a few more detailed ones. There's a question about the Swedish company that made the stackable delivery box. Could you repeat the name of that company if you can remember it?
I can't. Stackbox? I can't. Again, I can include more information. I know they're a Netherlands-based business. We only just track them. Noticeable by the lack of branding, I think, on the pack. I think there's an opportunity to include print as part of that as well. I can include more information in due course on that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of those will be covered.
Well, we'll do it for every example.
Okay. Fine. I think that covers the majority of the view on the questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Just 2 more minutes to wrap up. We have 2 special offers. As I mentioned, we have a packaging innovation report which we publish every month. It features 60 to 70 of the latest packaging innovations that we've tracked on our Innovation Zone database. It's normally available for £99 plus VAT. We're offering it with £30 off at just £69 plus VAT. And for the first 5 orders, you can get it for £49 plus VAT. So if you're quick off the mark and email paul@thePackHub.com, you can get the next monthly report, which is next week, the May report, for just £49 plus VAT. We also do a subscription model. The annual subscription is normally £999 plus VAT, but we're offering it for just £699 plus VAT, a saving of £300. And again, for the first 5 orders, we're knocking basically half price, £500 off, just £499 plus VAT. But please email me at paul@thePackHub.com to secure your be the first of one of 5 to get it at that very advantageous price. Just to say that with the last webinar, we had an offer on our Sustainable Packaging Compendium, and thank you to those that have placed an order. The saving of £300, the offer ends today. So if you'd like to secure your copy, please email sophie@packup.com. So that's sophie@packup.com to save £300 on the compendium. The offer ends today. Last slide, just to say that our next webinar will be back talking about sustainable packaging, which will be a 1-hour webinar at 2 different times on Friday, May the 15th. So in 2 weeks' time, we're acknowledging the time differences. So we'll be doing a 10 o'clock UK time, as well as I think it's a 3 o'clock Eastern time, so 6 o'clock UK time. So basically there will be 2 times to fit the different time audiences. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the content. As Barry and I said, we will add some more detail to the output so that you have some more information on the suppliers and the innovations. And I would like to thank you all very much for listening and wish you all a very good weekend. Thank you.